Welcome to the PharmaVOICE 100 one-on-one video series with Taryn Groen.
Hi, Elaine. It's so great to see you. Thank you so much for joining us for our PharmaVOICE 100 Celebration Marathon.
Well, Taryn, thank you for inviting me. I'm looking forward to our chat.
You know, Elaine, I've known you a long time, and now I know that you also have your finger, as always, on the pulse of innovation. What are some of the major trends you are tracking in terms of market focus?
Great question, Taryn. Actually, for the last several years, my focus has been on understanding what the fundamental changes are in markets, including life science / pharma. And the major trend, the major change that all industries are facing right now is this move to the experience economy. And it is being transformative for every single firm within every single industry. And in fact, you know, the World Economic Forum refers to it as the fourth industrial revolution. And you know, that's so therefore that kind of reinforces the significance of this change. And so what it means is that all the brand marketers in our industry now have to not only think about bringing product to market and servicing product over its life cycle, they need to now think about how they design and launch and support that winning physician experience, winning patient experience, winning payer experience. And these are complex topics. And so if I were to put on my data analytics and actionable insights lens, what that says is that these brand marketers now need very different kind of data in order to really understand the whole stakeholder, whether it's physician or patient, understand them as well from a journey point of view, which requires a tremendous amount of data well synthesized. And then they need to be able to determine how best to orchestrate that journey so that they get the outcome they're looking for with the physician, the prescribing, with the patient, the outcome, for the payer as well, the outcome. And so what we're seeing in terms of innovation and investment, if you will, in our industry is a lot around, and I'll talk to it as a hierarchy, creating that right data, bringing the real world evidence together with social media data. So starting to get, if you will, a fuller understanding of behavior, basically intercepting those data with an understanding using qualitative, quantitative research to get at more attitudinal insights, and now more recently than ever before, getting at emotion and really working to understand things like personal safety, financial security. So there's a tremendous investment going on in creating those purposeful data that then help to plot what the journey will look like, and in turn help make the smart decisions that are no longer one and done. The decisions in terms of building that winning customer experience are basically continuous, because you're continuously optimizing. And I think the data that we look at across industry would say that while the brand marketers think they're doing a fairly good job at delivering that right experience for their stakeholders, in fact, in the case of physician and patient, they're saying, well, not really, not yet. So it's an ongoing cycle. And so the next area of innovation and opportunity is to really start to determine how to best leverage AI and machine learning, how to best use and leverage automation to really create those affordable systems, if you will, that will support the brand marketer in making the tweaks and the adjustments they need to support the product with the right surrounding experience. So that's what we're seeing. And as I said, seeing a tremendous amount of investment by private equity and other firms in terms of working to support the brand marketer in their move to the fourth industrial revolution.
That's fascinating. Quickly, tell me what you think that impact is going to have on the digital space. Is that going to continue to expand?
Oh my God, yes. Tremendous question, and this is an area I've been tracking for a while now. And I think, as with much change, it starts slowly. And if I were to quote Hemingway, he was asked the question. I'm adapting it a little bit. How did change happen? And the response is suddenly, then rapidly. And I think that's exactly what's happening with digital healthcare and digital generally. And COVID-19 has really been the accelerant, and if you can think of it that way. And specifically, if we look at telehealth, the adoption of telehealth was slow and then rapidly. And the surveys are saying that physicians are ready to do more of it, patients are ready to do more of it, and so the one area that needs to be resolved is regulatory reimbursement. But it, depending on who you're reading, this will continue to move forward, and all of this talk about telehealth had me start to think about, we see the digital healthcare players, so names that Fitbit as an example, just that comes to mind, but that. These are kind of startup companies. I went and I looked at what is big tech doing in the area of healthcare, and it was noteworthy, I guess, is probably the word. When I plotted, payer, provider, manufacturer, distributor, consumer against Google, Alphabet, Amazon, Microsoft, Apple, Walmart. It was amazing to see the inroads that these companies, these big tech companies, are making into the healthcare industry, and also affecting pharma. And if you look at Amazon as an example, oh my goodness, they're in the payer space with their joint venture with JP Morgan and Berkshire Hathaway. They have PillPack, so they're a PBM. You come down and you look at providers. They have Amazon Care and their telemedicine capabilities. They have PillPack, which is disrupting pharma, or pharmacy, I should say. And you just continue to go down and look at the devices that they have to interface with the consumer, with the physician. Think Alexa. Think the doorbell, with camera built into the doorbell that they have. You start to see all of these things that they are bringing together, and what you see is that they're starting to really become a vertical across all of healthcare. It's just fascinating, and if you kind of take an example of elder care, we all know the horrible percentage of deaths associated with COVID-19. If you think of elder care in a box, Amazon has all of the pieces to deliver elder care, from the insurance through their payer experience, the healthcare resources in terms of Amazon Care, right through to Whole Foods to deliver Meals on Wheels. Just amazing what they could do to transform, the long-term care industry. So it is an area to study for pharma, because it's going to affect how they build that experience for patients, how they build that experience for physicians. And so, if you will, agile scenario planning is going to be a really important aspect of the work that needs to be done by pharma, to really understand how they can work with the Googles, the Amazons, the Microsofts, etc., and deliver that experience into the future. So it's truly an exciting time for us in the industry.
I couldn't agree with you more. That's a lot to unpack, and I thank you so much for giving us so much to think about, Elaine. And it's good to see you. Thanks so much.
Thank you, Taryn. This has been great.
For more PharmaVoice 100 content, visit www.pharmavoice100.com.